go. It's the Travis Neville Podcast. My name is Travis Neville. I wrote this book. It's called The Jossman Method. Here it is. You can get it on Amazon, Audible, lots of places. And you might be watching this because you are a hater and you think I'm full of shit. So you should definitely buy the book, read it, and verify one way or the other. Find the things that in your mind make me completely full of shit, and or watch the show, listen to the podcast, and comment on YouTube and let me know to that extent. I would love to have that conversation with anybody who is, just thinks, hey, this guy... Actually, it brings me to a pretty good point. What about me says that I'm an expert here? And I'm not. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not an expert. I've said that from the beginning. I mean, I've got some degrees back there. I have a master's degree, but it's not in psychology or it's not in philosophy. It's in freaking language arts. It's in English, basically. I used to be a high school teacher. So I'm not an expert, and I'd like to think that that's what makes my perspective unique. I'm not going to fill you with all kinds of academic stuffed shirt bullshit. I'm just trying to be a regular guy paying attention to what's going on with my mind and my heart, and with probably what's going to help you. That is kind of my angle. I've had several people suggest that I become a life coach. That sounds terrible. Like, I would so much rather offer this shit for free, and maybe it helps you, maybe it doesn't. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide. I mean, what are you going to take? What are you going to leave? I would hope that goes without saying. Take it or leave it. If I can offer in one of these sessions or in a few of them something that helps you, something that makes you think, something that gives you a different perspective that you hadn't thought of. I know, I get it, man. People are busy. They got a lot of shit going on. And I mean, you only have 16 hours of thought time a day at best. And you're filling it with your day-to-day whatnots. You're busy. You're raising your kids. You're improving your employment situation. You're cutting the grass. I mean, you've always got things going on. Well, I'm trying to help you boil down some ideas so you can listen to this while you're doing all that shit. And like I said, maybe you'll go, holy shit, I didn't think of it that way, and maybe it'll somehow make you happier. My whole thing is, my biggest thing, I beat a lot of drums, but one of them is definitely to beat fear, okay? That's the biggest thing. You're going to be afraid of things. You're going to be intimidated by things. That's okay. You're never going to delete those feelings. As long as you hit them head on, you know what I mean? And don't let the fear control you. I think you're winning. I mean, that's been my experience. If you just, I don't want to lay there thinking, well, that thing beat me, or that idea beat me, or that fear kept me standing still when I could have been moving. That's my main thing. I've said it before. Fear can control you. You can't let it. The fear that you experience, it's up to you to decide what you're going to do with it. And to that end, I went and spent some more time with the blue collar guys, which I think is going to continue to be a great relationship. We've got some other stuff planned. We will continue to improve our tech. I mean, I sat there at a bar with Cleever, the marketing arm of Blue Collar Clothing, and we sat at this bar and we were talking back and forth, and I videotaped it, and my fucking audio didn't work. It didn't record any of our audio, so I'm so disappointed by that. But I mean, here you can see us just talking away and getting excited and getting fired up, and I keep throwing in sections of that of us talking. But you'll just see us talking. You're not gonna hear anything. But so I kind of have to paraphrase what we talked about. But like I said, I think that's going to continue to be a great relationship. Cleever, the marketing guy, he and I share a lot in common. We have a lot of ideas that are the same, even though our backgrounds are really different. Like I said, have spent a lot of time in academia. I'm really well read for a regular dude. I have an advanced degree. I have all this stuff. And Cleever doesn't have that background. Grew up in a very small town, stayed there, worked with his hands his whole life. And it's crazy how we just end up arriving at the same conclusion about, kind of how we think the world is happening and what's good about it and what's bad about it. And, I found out most of that after. So we sit down and we record all this stuff. And we also you'll see we're passing this microphone around. And it's because I had a PA going. Because, we're sitting in this bar and people are crowded. It's crowded and they're eating and they're having a beer. And but we wanted them to kind of hear what we were talking about. And it was my hope that they would, at least a few people would get kind of hooked by our conversation, And it didn't exactly turn out that way. And I've got some ideas about why. We'll talk about that in a second. But so we get up there and first we're just kind of, because I didn't know that guy that well. I feel like I know him a lot better now. I really got to know him after we got done recording. We sat up at the bar, just two of us, and shot the shit for a little while, and kind of some neat stories there. But so what we were covering was basically the idea that I keep talking about, and I know this is not going to sound like I'm either lying or I don't know myself very well, but I really don't like politics. I really don't want to have anything to do with it. I'm not a Republican. I'm certainly not a Democrat. But I see a lot of things happening on the left that are troublesome to me. And so those are the things that I tend to address. And those are the things that Cleever was talking about as well. And some of the stuff that I was talking about fear again. All right. And I said that fear, it can control you. And people who know that are invariably further off in their lives. If you know that you're going to be afraid and you're not going to let it control you, you're better off. And politicians and people with money, and I shouldn't say that, big business, politicians, they also know that fear controls people, and they use it to their advantage. Now, I have said this over and over again, but I wanted to give you guys a good example. And again, Cleever and I were talking about this. Here's how that works. I say that all the time, fear controls people, and that's a nice kind of tagline, but without having a really solid example, maybe you don't really get it. And I want to make sure I get that across. I'm going to make it as simple as I can. So let's take the COVID shit, for example. Let's take the coronavirus, for example. The government puts out, hey, there's this real bad flu. Going to kill some old people. Going to kill some very unhealthy people. We're going to make you afraid of it, essentially. I don't see any other back reason for that. I mean, what is the upside of that for the government telling us that, making us afraid? Because how do you not know, if you're a politician and you're saying this to your population, there's this terrible flu out there, it could kill you. What do you think the population is going to react with outside of fear? Of course they're going to be afraid. Of course they're going to be afraid. I can remember at the beginning of this, and this is something that Cleever said too. First month or two, I'm like, I don't know, man. Is this could this really be real? I didn't know enough to have an opinion about it. So I can remember being at the gas station and I'd swipe my card and I would try really hard not to touch anything, and then it would ask me to type in my zip code, and I'm like, fuck. I don't have any hand sanitizer. I remember thinking about all that shit at the beginning. So how does that work? How does that control you? It works like this. When people are afraid, if you offer them a solution to that fear, they'll do anything you tell them to do. Or if you offer, you know what I mean? If you say, if you just lock yourself in your home and don't go anywhere and don't do anything, you won't die. That's what the government said. And because the population was so afraid, they did it. Pretty much everybody did it. And then to further control you using fear, They put everybody on unemployment, put everybody at home. We're paying businesses to continue to pay their payroll for people to be at home. Now you've got a situation where you're afraid you're going to lose your free money. You're afraid you're going to, you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. So there's no way you would ever buck the government. Same thing happened at the beginning. Like when it was you're locked down because everybody's afraid and nobody really knew what the fuck was going on. So nobody bucked. Nobody rebelled. Not really. A few things happened here in Michigan, but it was later. It was months after the initial lockdowns happened. So you see that's how fear can fuck you. What it does is it clouds your vision. It doesn't allow you to see clearly what's going on. It doesn't allow your logical brain, your mind, to get past your feelings and your emotions, which are fear. As soon as you get into the fear realm, your logic shuts right down. I mean, the research couldn't be more clear. The more afraid you are, the less smart you are. The fear reaction, the fight or flight, that's awesome at keeping you alive, but it's terrible at making you smart. I would tell you that the most emotionally reactive people you'll ever be around, they make the most irrational decisions because they're not thinking with their mind. They're thinking with their fear. They're thinking with their anxiety. Those are the people you work with who freak out about everything and do weird shit, and you're like, what the fuck are they doing? Are they not in their right mind? The answer is no, they're not in their right mind. When people are afraid, when they're anxious, whether it's fear of being in a crowd, fear of losing their job, whatever it is, if you put fear into people, you can control them, but only for a very short period of time. Then they get angry and they'll come back at you, just like an animal would, right? You make your dog afraid. There's this movie that I love. It's called Surviving the Game. It's based on a short story I used to teach called The Most Dangerous Game. And it's where these people are hunting. This guy is hunting people. He's hunting other people because they're the most dangerous game, right? Anyway, the movie version, Surviving the Game, it stars Ice-T and Rutger Hauer and Gary Busey, and it's got a great cast. Charles S. Dutton. There's this, Busey tells this story, and it's fucking riveting, man. If I can pull up a picture of him while he's telling it, I will. He talks about how his dad got him this little bulldog when he was a kid. And he raised this dog, and he taught the dog to be a protector, right? And the way he did it was he put himself, the dad told him, get inside this ring, and there was this dummy. And he would stand behind the dummy, and the dog was there. The dog's name was Prince something or other. He called him the Prince. And he'd light these cherry bombs and throw them at the dog. And at first the dog was scared to death. He was scared to death. He'd run away, he'd hide. But eventually he got fucking angry. And he started attacking that dummy. He started coming at it. Wham! Like as soon as the fuse would get lit, boom, he was on him. And that's what happens with people. Okay, you make them afraid long enough, eventually they will bond together and rebel. Because the fear, like I told you, it deletes your logic. It deletes your ability to think clearly and puts you back in an animal state. You get back to a fight or flight state. A reactionary, instinctual, animalistic thing, and violence is part of that. The more you keep people in their logical minds, the better decisions they're going to make. It seems fairly clear to me. So that's a thing. We didn't go that deep into it, but we were talking about that, about the lockdowns and how it, how at this point people are just absolutely way past it. Nobody's going to wear a mask anymore. Nobody's going to any of that shit. If you want to, no problem. I mean, I'm not going to tell you can't. But if the government tells us we have to again, it's probably going to go pretty badly. You know what I mean? There is going to be mass rebellion at that point because people are they're tired of being afraid. Quit telling me I need to be afraid. They're going to go into that animalistic reaction. You know what I'm saying? So that's the control thing. Those are some of the things that Cleever and I were talking about. We're sitting in this crowd of people, and I walked into the bar. I got there pretty early, and I looked around the room, and I can't believe I hadn't thought of this, but the room was completely filled with blue-collar, hardworking, mostly dudes. It was, I got there at like 6 o'clock. I mean, these people have been working all day. It was a Wednesday. And all they wanted to do was sit there, have a beer, eat their dinner, talk about their day, fucking go home and do the same thing tomorrow. Now, there is a beauty in that. There is an amazing beauty in that. And if the bar that we were at is in Mio, Michigan, which is really rural, very, thankfully, isolated from any kind of urban influence, any kind of high-thinking fucking political bullshit. These are just regular, everyday people. You know who they are? They are the target market for blue collar. All right? They are the folks who, like I said, they want to work hard, maybe have a beer, go out to eat once a week, twice a week, go home, go to sleep, get up, do the same thing the next day, and enjoy themselves on the weekends, right? That's what these kind of people are. So we go in there, and Cleever and I are talking, and we're saying all this stuff, and we're talking about these politically heavy ideas and all this great stuff, and I'm like looking around the room, and nobody gave a shit. like I told you, we're past this microphone, we're on the PA, and I thought we'd be having people going, amen, hell yeah, like, you got right on, motherfucker. Like, I thought we would have the whole crowd whipped up into a frenzy. Matter of fact, at one point, I stood up, and I'm like, I'll tell you what, I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. Like, at the beginning of the thing, like, I got on the mic, I'm like, I know you folks just want to have dinner and relax, so we'll keep this volume low, but we want you guys to hear a little bit about what we're talking about. We're going to film a podcast over here. You can mind your own business, or you can be involved, completely up to you. So the volume was, unless you were paying attention, you weren't hearing what we were saying, right? So I did that, and then at some point after we've been talking for like half an hour, 40 minutes, I'm like, I brought a $100 bill, and I'm like, I'm going to give away $100 in free beers to promote the podcast, to promote the book, to promote Blue Collar. I was wearing a Blue Collar hat, and I stood up and I'm like, can I get a fuck Whitmer for a free beer? If you raise your hand and yell fuck Whitmer, I'll buy you a beer. And I had like 2 dudes raise their hand, but they wouldn't say it. I'm like, you got to say it. And nobody would. And then I did the same thing about, all right, how about fuck lockdowns? Who's going to give me a fuck lockdowns? Same thing, had one guy raise his hand, like give me kind of a right on fist bump in the air type of thing, but he wouldn't say it. Now, I was really disappointed by that, and so was Cleever. But in the end, after I thought about it and I started working up this show today, I realized I answered my own question. Like I told you, what were these people doing there? They'd worked hard all day. They just wanted to relax and kind of be with their wife or husband or friends or guys they work with or whatever, and just have a burger and some fries and have a beer and go and watch some TV, go to bed. That's all they want to do. And I'll tell you, that's most of our country, okay? That's most of taxpayers. And I don't mean most like 51%. I think that's 85% of our country are people who think just like that. I kind of don't give a shit about your politics. Like, you guys can do your show. You leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. We're going to live our lives. You guys live yours. Which I fucking love. I love that shit. So what does that tell you? It tells you that blue collar mentality, not interested in the politics and the bullshit. Just want to work hard. Just want to take care of business. Just want to love their families and be left alone and go home. I mean, that's why they choose to live in a place like Mio, Michigan. There's no diversity. There's no bunch of other opinions coming down on them every day, being forced down their throat at work. None of that shit. You know what I mean? Which I found to be awesome. I found to be incredibly refreshing. The things, like I told you at the beginning, I really don't have much interest in politics. It's the things that I think are happening or are about to happen that really bother me. And most of them happen to be on the left. And that was awesome to see that there are at least, like I said, I think most places are completely unconcerned with that. And if those things were to happen, wouldn't affect them anyway, not really. They'll go on living their lives exactly how they are. So that's a lesson I can learn from that myself. Less politics, more doing what I do in the book. Work hard, take care of business. Here are the things you can do every day that make you better. This is what's going to make your life happier. This is what's going to make you better. You know what I mean? Now, I'm thinking that now that I've looked back on it, like, it was 24 hours ago. I mean, literally we were wrapping up, I'm recording this on Thursday evening. It's going to come out on Friday morning. So I have some perspective there. Now, let me share this one thing with you. Like I told you, after Cleever and I got done, kind of doing our show and talking, making trying to make a scene, trying to get people involved, trying to give away free beers. I'm giving out free T-shirts, stickers. He's got koozies from Blue Collar. We're doing our thing, And after that, I packed all my shit up, put it in the car, and I'm like, dude, let's just have another beer. And he's like, all right, cool. So the two of us sit at the bar, and then we really started talking. I started getting to know him better, and he started getting to know me better. I heard more about his story and the struggles that he's been through, and he heard more about mine, which they're not a secret. You can read about in my book. I talk about them all the time. So we started, kind of getting to know each other, which was great. And here's the cool, that was cool by itself. There's a guy that you see in these pictures. I'm showing you these little clips of us talking, and there's a guy that you see in the background who came up to us, okay, after everything was done, and a couple tables had left, but this place was still pretty full. And he came up to us just to say, hey, dude, everything you guys said was right. There wasn't a thing that you talked about that I didn't agree with. And I asked him, dude, why didn't you fucking say something? I would have bought you a beer. And he kind of, actually, I guess I don't remember what he said, but what I told him was, and this was my conclusion at the time, and this is definitely my conclusion now, is this. He was afraid that his opinion wouldn't be popular. And I think that's a human nature thing. He's just a human. You know what I mean? The reason I say that he's just a human, I should have told you this first. This guy, really intelligent, well-educated, very up on recent events in our government, knew everything, could quote names, could quote dates, could quote you name it. This guy knew a lot of shit. And again, very smart. But even though he has all those tools, he has all that ammunition, he has all those weapons, he's still a human. And he couldn't bring himself to be vulnerable enough to say that in front of people where somebody might have said, fuck you, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Now, he didn't say that. He didn't admit that he was afraid. But the way that he responded, I remember thinking, oh, that's why. And that's totally fucking normal. That's totally, totally normal. The lesson there is this. I think that people think that half of the country hates the other half and vice versa. I think people think that there are people who think that there's going to be a civil war in our country between the left and the right. And I'm going to tell you that will never happen. The closest thing to that happening is the bullshit, gutless, pussy exchanges that happen on social media. The people who are really doing the complaining, the people who are really doing the whining, are just whiners. And they're a very small percentage of our world. As I told you, I hung out with just regular people last night who don't give a fuck, who don't have an opinion, who aren't posting on Facebook, who aren't posting on Twitter. Most of them go and vote. And those of you guys who thought, well, how the hell did Trump win 4 years ago or 5 years ago or whatever? That's how. Those people who they're basically the silent majority. They have opinions, and they're the ones who spoke out. All this fucking back and forth bullshit on social media, that's such a small percentage of our world. I mean, it's tiny. And basically, real people don't do that shit. Real people just want to work and be left alone and live their lives. And I mean, that's what was so upsetting about lockdowns and all that shit. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't have any interest in any of that shit until it started affecting me. And that, when it started affecting me, is when shit started getting shut down. Anyway, a lot of lessons to be learned there. I learned a lot more about, like I said, what most of our rural country is like. I think that the world that exists in metropolitan areas is a bubble. It's its own little weird protected thing. And out there in the, when you get outside of the cities, it's very different. I mean, and it's not hard to see how that goes. You watch it all the time. You drive around anywhere. You drive through Royal Oak, for example, you're going to see all kinds of, Harris Biden stuff. But as soon as you leave, I mean, as soon as you get out any place rural, everything is Trump. Still, yeah, I don't know. It was an awesome experience. It was really cool to, it's always good to hang out with the blue collar guys. They're a lot of fun. I didn't get to see Ryan or Rick last night. They had other stuff going on, but Cleever's awesome. I had a great time with him. And it was a great experience. Like I said, Mile, Michigan has been super, welcoming. Every time I come up there, people are really nice. I mean, we talked to this bar. Hey, can we do a podcast? They're like, hell yeah, set up over there or whatever you want. So like I gave the bar staff T-shirts. I handed out some stickers to them. Like I said, I had a bar tab going. Did the best I could to kind of make it a good experience for everybody who was there. And, and that was neat. And back to the conversation with that guy. He was an interesting dude. Like I can't remember where he was from, but he moved to, basically rural upper Michigan from Alaska. The guy lived in Wasilla, Alaska, the last place that he lived. And, that's a harsh environment, to say the least. The guy works for like the Forestry Service, DNR, something like that. Good dude, like I said, really up on his shit. Yeah, I think it's a shame that a man as smart as he is, as well educated as he is, and he's in a position of leadership at his job, which that shit doesn't happen on accident. It's a shame that people in our world right now, as a result, and he's going to be a plugged-in guy, smart as he is, all the things that he knows, he's on social media for sure, and he thinks that he feels like he can't really share his opinion in mixed crowd, and that's a shame. I don't think anybody should ever feel that way. We had a football meeting, I don't know, a few months ago, before I was not coaching football anymore, and my contribution was that, how many people on our staff, sometimes you'll hesitate to say, hey, I think it should be done this way, or to ask a question, hey, why not this? And the reason why is the same reason that guy didn't talk about it. You don't want to feel stupid or get belittled. And that lack of confidence, I think, is being promoted by the shots and terrible things that are happening on social media. Like, everybody knows that unless you sway a certain way, Facebook will shut you down. Instagram will shut you down. Twitter will shut you down. And that's fucking censorship, dude. That's fascism. That's communism. It's some terrible shit. It shouldn't be happening. Why people think it's... The only people who think that's okay are the people who agree with those people. You know what I mean? Which, how do you not see that? It just... I don't know. The left has become like a religion. That's one thing that Ted Kaczynski had right. The left is basically a religion. They believe in a bunch of things that really don't make sense. But they believe in it so wholeheartedly, and it becomes a part of who they are, and it becomes an emotional thing. It isn't anymore there's no logic in it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense that a dude died and rose from the dead. Come on, logically, that doesn't make sense. But there's so many people who believe it, right? It's the idea of faith. You got to have something that you want to stand behind that's bigger than you. And I get that. I mean, that's why I was involved with football. I needed something that was bigger than me to be a part of. And that need outweighs your ability to be logical about it. Anyway, like I said, overall great experience. Like I said, love hanging out with the blue collar guys. I will send this over to them and see if they want to use this on in their promotional stuff. I know they have a pretty stout marketing support. They've got Cleever, who handles the marketing, and they also have a marketing firm that guides them. And I mean, they're way more advanced than I am, which is kind of neat. So I'm trying to learn everything I can from them. But anyway, those are my thoughts from that's what I got out of my next field trip, being out there and hanging out with the populace. I'm realizing that I need to do that more, just from a personal perspective. I don't get enough exposure to people who are outside of my circle, people who aren't on a screen. I don't. I need to be out there people watching, understanding what people are involved in, what they're interested in, and what's, if I'm going to reflect the thoughts and ideas that are going to make you happier, like I said, the things that are going to help you to beat fear, what are the things that maybe you're really afraid of? I need to be out around more people in order to do that. So we'll see. I'll come up with more opportunities and ways to take more field trips. And next time, I promise I'll get my audio working so you'll be able to hear us talking. But anyway, I'm Travis Neville. This is the Travis Neville Podcast. I wrote this book called The Jossman Method. You can get it all kinds of places. And again, if you need one, hit me up on Facebook. I'll meet you for a beer, bring you one, sign you one, give you some stickers, buy you beer. I hope today's show in some way helps you to get your shit together. Have a great week.